Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another movie review. Today, I'm going to be talking about Lady Bird, the 2017 hit movie, the 99% on Rotten Tomatoes. Everyone's raving about it. It says everything says that it's a comedy. Personally, I didn't think of it as much of a comedy. There were funny moments, but it didn't feel focused on comedy and didn't feel like it was intended to be very funny. But anyway, let's do a short summary. So this movie focuses on the story of Christine Lady Bird McPherson. She gave herself the name Lady Bird because she sort of wanted to be who she was, and she's a rebellious girl. And she's always trying to do something a little different to prove that her mom can't really tell her what to do. She throws herself out of the moving car and breaks her arm, which you probably see her wearing a cast in the trailers. But so she's an edgy high school senior who's moving on to college, trying to discover who she wants to be, which college she wants to go to, who her friends are, what her relationships are, how she interacts with her parents, all that. It's a coming-of-age movie told from sort of a different perspective. It focuses, the reason I say it's a different perspective is because it focuses more on the relationship between mother and daughter and how family relationship and their personal feelings for each other, which is different from most coming-of-age teenage movies because those are more romance-based or with a group of friends or something of that nature. But I did think that this movie was very good. I'm not sure I would give it a 99%, not in Rotten Tomatoes. I still haven't decided what rating I'm going to give it. I'll think about that during the review. But I did feel that it was very good. It is short. It's barely over 90 minutes, and I guess some of that's the credits. But it didn't feel short, even though it really is. So let's talk about a couple points. This movie does make you feel kind of awkward watching it because there are cringy moments where the characters are being overly edgy or talking about conspiracies or having arguments that aren't necessarily most comfortable, and and in the end, I think it's a good thing because the movie ends up not really being about her relationships, but more about the insecurities that people have and how it fuels their relationships, like changing friend groups or starting relationships and things like that. So it's awkward, but that isn't a bad thing. It's only awkward because we're not used to seeing that side of the coming of age, the teenage movies. We're not used to seeing that in film, and we're so used to the upbeat slash the really hard conflict. There's not really much of in the middle ground. So this movie isn't violent in any way. It's not overly happy-go-lucky. It strikes a strange balance that we haven't seen much. Another point is this movie takes place in 2002, and that really intrigues me because that's not an era. The early 2000s is not really an era people have gone back to in movies as of late, because it's in that weird zone that's not quite 80s, 90s where it's nostalgia based. It's not quite present day where everyone understands it. There are people who lived through that period who are seeing this movie and thinking, I haven't thought much back to that time period yet because we're just getting out, or we're going into the 2020s, I guess, but it's still a very strange time period. I was too in that time period, so I don't necessarily have so much connection to it because I don't remember until maybe 2006, but I thought that was interesting. The time period didn't really affect it too much. It still feels very modern. It feels like they could have said 2017. It really wouldn't have changed much. And I have one negative about this is Lady Bird's first relationship with a guy named Danny, who she basically instantly falls in love with. It doesn't end. It ends in an interesting way, but it doesn't feel like they put enough emotion into that. They didn't focus on it. It kind of went bam, bam, and then it moved on to something else. And I feel like they really could have made it more powerful, because a lot of the relationships in this movie between Lady Bird and her friends and her family and all that are very well developed, and all the characters feel like real people. Everything's very real and emotional in a way that isn't powerful. But they really could have made that moment, which is one of the more deeply emotional moments in the movie, powerful. So anyway, I think I'm going to give Lady Bird a 9.2 out of 10. And upon request from someone online, I'm going to be reworking my rating system in the near future. Maybe I'll go out of 5 stars or something like that. But I realize that my rating system is a little bit unconventional. It basically is out of 100, me doing decimals, out of 10. But I do understand that probably having my opinions be more clear-cut would be a better way to express my overall feelings about the movie. So thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Subscribe for more daily videos, and I will see you guys in another review. Bye.